Hello, this is Karen Beck. This is my 12th year at Brebeuf. I teach Spanish 3, Spanish 5 Honors, which is a film studies course, and I teach AP Spanish Language and Culture. And this is going to be a quick overview of what the AP Spanish Language and Culture course is about, and some of the expectations that I have for the students. This is the AP Spanish Language and Culture course and exam description, effective 2020. So this course actually engages students in an exploration, a very deep exploration of culture in both contemporary and historical contexts. They become very culturally aware as they study the cultural products, the practices, and perspectives of each culture. And they express their knowledge via written and spoken communication, whether that's interpersonal, interpretive, and or presentational skills. They are expected to have a pretty high level of vocabulary usage, very sophisticated level, language control, control of grammar and syntax, and extremely sophisticated and higher level communication strategies. So this slide walks you through the actual format of the exam. So there are two sections on the exam. The first section is multiple choice, and the second section is considered free response. So the multiple choice questions, if you look at this slide, shows you that the multiple choice questions for the first part A, it's interpretive communication print text. So they're required to read a print text, which could include a graph. There are 30 questions, weighting 23% of the grade of the exam weighting, and then that's 40 minutes in length. And then part B consists of multiple choice questions, and what they're expected to do is interpret print and audio texts as well. So then that will be combined different sources into 35 questions, 27%, for a total of 55. The free response questions are probably the most difficult for the students to engage in because they require a lot of background knowledge. So the first part is email reply. There's a formal email. They have to learn how to formally reply to an email. They have to understand what the email is about, the content, the subject, and reply with certain vocabulary that is required for this formal reply. As you can see, it's 12.5% of their total grade for 15 minutes. Argumentative essay is a long piece where they are required to write an argumentative essay using various sources. One is audio, one is a graph, and one is a written source for 55 minutes. Question 3 and 4 require their spoken proficiency. There's a conversation, 12.5%, and this conversation is a very difficult thing for the students to practice and master because it's a one-way conversation in which a native speaker is speaking to them about a topic. They do have the introduction to that topic, but that is all. And they will hear a spoken uh, uh, question to them or a statement, and it tells them how to respond, whether negatively, affirmatively, or ask a question. But that is difficult, and we practice that extensively because there is no pre study for that. There's no way for them to prepare for that other than understand what is being said to them. The cultural comparison is also very difficult for the students in the sense that they will be asked a question about one of the 6 themes or sub-themes that we study, which you will see presently. And the cultural comparison requires the students to compare and contrast a topic or a subject within their own culture with a Spanish speaking culture. And again, that's where the focus country comes into play because if they know enough about that focus country, it doesn't matter what the topic is or how the question is framed, they will be able to complete that cultural comparison. So, over the course of the year, there are 6 thematic units studied, and within each of these units are multiple subunits. Within the context of all of these themes or units, so much research is involved where the students have to continually focus on their focus country and all of the different pieces and parts of that country in terms of these 6 different themes. So how do families work in those countries? What kinds of families are there? How are those families influenced by language and culture? What are the influences in the history of beauty and art within that particular culture? What are the advances or not in science and technology that could involve things like the environmental issues that affect that particular country? factors that impact the quality of life in this country, and environmental, political, and societal changes pretty much is self-explanatory. So there's a lot to research and a lot to understand and learn over the course of the year. Any of these themes are subject for or subject matter for the exam itself, and there is no way to know exactly which of these themes will be the focus for the exam. So what would my advice be for taking this course? First of all, students need to come into the course academically prepared. They need to stay on top of all the course requirements. What do students usually say is one of the most difficult things about the course, or where they find themselves struggling, is time requirements required for the different tasks, especially for those students who are taking multiple AP courses. So for many students, it's difficult to find that balance between all of their different courses and requirements. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at kbeck@brebeuf.org.